Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Little Bit of Potato. We're going to talk a little bit about No Man's Sky today. So, I would absolutely love to be putting up a Let's Play of that game right now. However, I physically cannot do that. I literally cannot. The game is in such a state that it will not work to a high enough level that I would feel comfortable putting on the channel. And I sort of wanted to talk a little bit about that today, and what the heck is happening, because it's really not great. It's a really dire situation. So there's a couple of areas that I want to cover. The first is all of the hype that surrounded the game. You know, I don't really think that that's much of the issue about, the last 24 hours or so since this game is released. I don't think that's been the main concern. Obviously there are people that are disappointed that the game hasn't lived up to the expectations that the developers set by being so vague. But again, that's to be expected. I don't think that that's really anybody's fault per se. So I don't think that the hype is really part of the conversation that should be happening and that is starting to happen. What is the main problem with this game? Well, the main problem is that this game is horrifically optimized, and it is an absolutely atrociously running PC game. Not really the same on PlayStation, apparently. It's a different situation over there, but on PC, however, it is absolutely horrific. So, just some stats for you, and you'll probably be able to see in the background what exactly I mean when I, talk about these issues. But the game would routinely run and take up 70 to 80% of my CPU just for walking around on a planet, and that is quite frankly ridiculous. My recording software, for example, on a bad day takes up about 6% of my CPU, so what you can see happening now is just atrocious frame drops. The game just stops at certain points. That is probably made worse by the fact that that my CPU is literally maxing out because this game is so unbelievably taxing on the system. I cannot believe how this game was able to be released. I think it is quite frankly ridiculous. And there's a lot of people that aren't having these problems, obviously. If I wasn't recording, I would probably be able to get a little bit of better performance out of it, but even when I wasn't recording, I was still getting massive frame drops. There's a lot of people that are saying, hey, this game works fine for me. You know what? Good for you, buddy. Great for you. But there's a heck of a lot of people, and you can see by reading online and seeing what the heck is happening on Twitter, there's a heck of a lot of people that this game does not work for. And I think it is absolutely scandalous that this game was able to be released in the state that it is, because boy, oh boy, this is a game that is not ready for release. You know what? I haven't even played the game. I don't even know any of the content. I've literally stopped myself from doing anything of importance in these little snippets just so that I could show you guys how bad the performance was. I don't know if it's a boring game. A lot of people are saying that it's a boring game. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that, okay? Because I just haven't been able to play it because it is so atrociously badly optimized, which is terrible. Another thing that I sort of wanted to talk about is the communication from the developers. And, at the start of this sort of development, or the start of the sales period, so, from about the 8th of August onwards, the developers were, kind of cutesy. It was kind of great that the No Man's Sky developers were like teasing us and whatever, and getting everybody pretty hyped up. It's a game, you're going to release it, you want everybody to be excited about it, and, that's the right thing to do. But within the release frame of the PC version, between the 9th and the 12th was when the PC version was actually released, the developers became ever more evasive of some questions which I thought were kind of fundamental to the understanding of the game. So as you're probably aware, there was an incident where two players came into contact with each other in the world, and they couldn't see each other. And the developer was queried again and again and again and again and again, is this game multiplayer? Like, is this actually a game that you can meet up and have interactions with people? And as it turns out, no answer. Nothing at all. My personal opinion on that is that, yes, this game was always intended to be multiplayer. but the multiplayer elements simply haven't been added in yet because of the such tight development cycle. That's my personal opinion. That's my opinion. So that's why the devs haven't really come out and said, no, it's not multiplayer. Because I suspect that they will probably be adding some sort of a functionality in that allows players to meet up later on. Maybe not. Who knows? Just a guess. So communication has really been absolutely terrible. Horrific optimization, as I've already mentioned, absolutely abysmal. Another thing that I have a real issue with is the fact that the release date for PlayStation, the release date for PC, completely different. Completely different days. 3 different days. That is never, ever, ever a good thing to do if you're releasing a game. But, you know, I guess that's kind of a small little thing. That's not much that you can criticize for that. I mean, it's 3 days of difference. No biggie, right? But the issue that I have, well, not one of the biggest issues. The biggest issue is without a doubt the horrific optimization. But the second most biggest issue that I have about this game is that pre-release of this game, there were no pre-release codes that were offered to press. So, from the biggest to the smallest channels on YouTube, journalists, nobody got a pre-release code for this game, which I think is atrocious. Whenever you see a game dev, doing this, it is always a red flag. It might turn out that the game is great, right? It might be that, I don't know, the developers are just doing something weird. Who knows? But always just take that as a red flag, because it is absolutely ridiculous how the developers were a way to get away with just not giving the press any games. If they did, the press would undoubtedly see how badly optimized and how unready this game actually is. So I can see why the developers didn't send out press codes, but I think that it is super shady, and I really think that it is, you know, a massive stain on their reputation, at least in my eyes. I really don't think that it's anywhere near appropriate that you don't send out press codes. I'm not so bothered. I wouldn't be so bothered if I just didn't get one. I mean, I obviously didn't get one, but there's a whole bunch of people who didn't get one. You know, Total Biscuit didn't get one. Enterlysium didn't get one. You know, so it's crazy that these codes didn't go out. So yeah, I think that it is ridiculous, and that sort of feeds into my last point that I've got to make. Never pre-order a game, all right? Just, it's common sense. Just never pre-order a game. You didn't gain anything for this. There was no pre-ordering discount for No Man's Sky. There was extra content, but that was extra content that you could unlock in the game. You weren't allowed to preload. So, quite frankly, there was literally no bonus, apart from maybe the time that you would save in game unlocking the resources that you need to get the hyperdrive or whatever. I don't really know, but no bonus, and I'm really annoyed, actually. Like, I really don't think that this game should have been released. Quite frankly, I think it's ridiculous that it has been released in the state that it is. Credit to them, the devs are trying to fix the situation that they created, but quite frankly, it could have been easily avoided by just not being, you know, so ridiculous and releasing this game. It blows me away. It really does blow me away. But hey ho. Again, you know, going quickly back to the hype that was surrounding this game. This game had a lot of high expectations. It had a lot of high expectations from a whole heck of a lot of people. I personally didn't really have high expectations. I was kind of looking forward to this game. I'm not gonna lie. I always look at it in the context of what is it that you guys are going to enjoy watching on the channel, what is interesting, what is relevant, and I thought, yeah, this game would be a great game to play on the channel. But I was never like, oh my goodness, this is going to be the greatest thing in the world. And quite frankly, if you can avoid feeling like that, then I think that is better for everybody, because then you don't get as excited about it. You still get the game, you still have a good time, but your expectations aren't ruined. And I think that's what a lot of people are really annoyed about, that the developers didn't really live up to the expectations of actual in-game content. Again, I can't speak to that. I don't know anything about the game. I'm gonna go and try and play it right now. Nothing is gonna be going up on the channel, which kind of sucks, because I would love to play it on the channel, but I'm going to do my best to give it a little shot, and we'll see what happens. See if I like it. Honestly, I think it'll be an alright game, but quite frankly, nobody should get it with this horrific optimization. Nobody should get it. Nobody should get it until it's fixed, because quite frankly, it is absolutely ludicrous that the developers have been able to do this. But anyway, ladies and gents, that's my little thoughts and opinions on No Man's Sky and releasing in the absolutely broken state that it was released in. But hey ho. Thank you very, very much for watching. My name's Naomi Potato, and I will see you next time. Bye.